American Sniper is an American biographical war film that follows the life of Chris Kyle. Chris became the deadliest marksman in U.S. military history with over 160 kills recorded through 4 tours in Iraq. The movie is based off of the book written by Chris Kyle himself, which follows his life through war and his struggles with PTSD. In this scene, Chris demonstrates having both isolated and aggressive tendencies because of his time in Iraq. He believes that the dog is going to harm the child, which causes him to take off his belt and go after the dog because he thinks that he's only protecting the child. He is unable to separate himself from war when he comes home, which also makes him more isolated and distant from his family. He also thinks that they will not understand what he went through and they will not be able to help him in any way. In this scene, Chris demonstrates having PTSD by reacting the way he did to the drill. He and his son were at the mechanics when the mechanic had dropped a drill. This puts Chris in a trance-like state as he is remembering watching a child murdered by a drill to the head in Iraq. This then puts him on high alert, bringing him back to the war and the haunting memories that still follow him home. This scene is arguably one of the most gruesome scenes throughout the film and the novel. Not only did Chris have to murder men in order to protect his country, but he also had to endure the trauma of having to kill women and children. This exposed him to high levels of violence and guilt, which only added to his PTSD, and having to live with the fact that he murdered a child that was only trying to protect his country. Overall, this movie accurately depicts the emotional trauma that soldiers have to go through when they come home from war. This accurately describes the emotional distress that not only Chris Kyle, but soldiers all across the world have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah, I got out early.
You did? So what, are you in Germany or where?
No, I'm here. I'm stateside.
You're home? What are you doing?
I guess I just needed a minute.
Chris, the kids are dying to see you. It's been 9 months.
I'm coming home.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Babe, come home, okay? You know, we miss you.
Okay.
In the end of the movie, we learn that Chris was tragically murdered while trying to help a fellow soldier also suffering from PTSD. The two were at a Texas shooting range when the soldier murdered Chris Kyle. Chris knew the horrible effects that PTSD had on his life and his family's, and he was only trying to help in as many ways as possible so people didn't have to go through the same pain that he and his family did.